Hey YouTubers, Steven here. Okay, today, cooking with Steven. I'm home alone for lunch, I'm hungry, I gotta go to work later, kids are in school, wife's at work. Today I'm gonna show you how we make goulash. Basically it's with Kraft dinner, tomato soup, some hamburger, some spices. I'd use real garlic and onion, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to use some spices, some powder, and I'm going to show you how we make it. Kids absolutely love it, and I'm sure your kids and family would like it too. So let's get started. So normally you use a frying pan to fry up some hamburger. I'm actually just going to use this little pot because all the frying pans we have are quite large. And I'm just taking a few hamburger patties we had in the freezer. I've thawed them. I'm gonna throw them in here. And I'm doing this while I'm waiting for the water to boil. Yeah, pop them all in here. And typically when I cook my Kraft dinner, I set the pot to boil, and then once it starts to go to a rolling boil, I usually turn it down to about between medium and halfway between medium and high. That way it doesn't burn the noodles to the bottom of the pot. So I'm gonna wash my hands here and be right back. Now whenever you handle raw meat, you should always wash your hands before you do anything else. That way you're not going to contaminate your work surface, your stove, whatever. So we're just going to put on our hamburger here, get it going. Get my little spoon here. I'll just chew up, break up all the raw hamburger because we just want it in pieces. Now if you make this at home, you know, for your family, you may want to basically use 2 to 3 boxes of Kraft dinner, depending on how much your family eats. In general rule of thumb, when we make it, we use a can of tomato soup for each box of Kraft dinner that we use. Alright, it's broken up enough for now. And then you can add cheese to it. You could put raw garlic in with your hamburger, onions like I mentioned, so everything gets sauteed. But in the meantime, I'm going to add some onion powder and some black pepper. You can pretty much add whatever you want to this. You can be as creative as you like. You could use a spaghetti sauce as well, for that matter. A little garlic powder. I don't think I want any oregano today. But you can pretty much play with this as much as you like. Sometimes I like to change it up with a little spaghetti sauce. Usually it's just with tomato soup. So get this hamburger going. My water's getting hot now, so we'll come back in a minute when I've got the noodles in, and we'll see how the progress is making with the hamburger. Alright, our water is at a rolling boil. We're in our noodles. And you could use any type of noodles for that matter. And yes, I'm going to use the same spoon that I was using to mix up the hamburger, but where the water is boiling, if there's any nasty stuff with the spoon, it's going to be boiled anyway, so it's going to cook off any salmonella or E. coli or anything that might be in the meat. And we'll give our meat a little stir, break it up a little more. I like to have a lot of meat in mine. You could also make this like a casserole as well. You could cook it all up just like you see here that I have. put it in a casserole dish, and then add, you know, your tomato soup, or, you know, if you wanted to put some veggies in with it, you know, put a nice layer of cheddar cheese on the top, or cheddar and mozza. You know, you could really mix it up. Sometimes when we're making Kraft dinner, I like to put some extra cheese slices in it just to make it a little cheesier. Okay, now I'm just going to turn my noodles down a little bit, just so that they don't burn, stick to the bottom. And oh, if you could smell the spices that I added to the hamburger here, oh, it smells wonderful. Alright, so the hamburger's cooking up nicely. I'm actually going to turn that down a little bit because I don't want to overcook the hamburger and have it too dry, so I'm just going to turn it down to a medium, and we'll come back. Alright, our hamburger's looking great. Give our noodles a little stir. Oh, they're starting to get there. They're white on the ends. So I'm going to turn our meat down to low. I'm actually going to strain it. We don't want all this hamburger fat, yucky oil, grease. It's not going to really add much to our macaroni. Give a little strain here. Okay, our hamburger is all nice and strained, as you can see. It's lovely. Now, before I put this back down on the burner, I'm actually going to add our tomato soup now to it. Because I don't want the hamburger to burn on the bottom, so we're just going to take our tomato soup, mix it all in with our hamburger, so it becomes like a meat sauce, if you will. And then while the noodles are cooking, where I have it on low, it's going to warm up the tomato soup, and all the spices that I put in on the hamburger should mix in with the tomato soup as well. Give our noodles another little stir. Yeah, the tomato soup's going to make the water a little off color, but our noodles are almost done, so we'll check back in a few minutes. Okay, so I've strained off all of the water from our noodles. Noodles are nicely cooked. We're going to take our nice little meat sauce here, and we're just going to pile it all in. And I started to say earlier that in our house, when we make this, generally it's 3 boxes. I mean, there's 5 of us here. You know, our kids are all teens. So you know what teens can do? They can pound back the food. So we're just going to mix this all up, get it started here. Oh wow, does this ever smell so good. We're going to take our powdered cheese. Now notice I'm not adding any milk or butter to it. With the tomato soup, you really don't need any extra liquid. You don't want it to be too runny. And we're just going to mix this all in. Mix it up good. If I had some cheese slices in the fridge, I'd probably add a slice to it. But generally when we make it 3 boxes of Kraft dinner we generally use about 2 pounds of meat. 2 pounds of hamburger. Because as you can see, I mean, it looks beautiful. All this meat and cheese and sauce and alright, we're all mixed up, so I'll bring my bowl into place here. Scoop some out on the plate or the bowl. Look at that. Beautiful. And what's left over, I'm going to wrap up, put it in the fridge, and I'm sure one or two of my kids will devour this when they get home from school. Okay, so here we are, finished product, it's ready to go. But here's the big question. Alright, fork or spoon? Personally, I prefer a spoon. My kids love a fork. It drives me nuts. Tap, 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 when they're trying to get all the macaroni noodles on it, but feel free to leave a comment, fork or spoon, because we always have the debate. What's better, what most people use, spoon or a fork, and I'm leaning towards probably a fork. Everyone's probably against me, but I prefer a spoon because I don't drop any this way. Heavenly. So if you've never made this before, try it. I think your kids will absolutely love it. So until next time, enjoy your yumlicious goulash.